I'm going to show you how to use the PHP web framework Laravel and the Gitea Actions, or Gitea or GT Actions, however you pronounce that. Before we begin, quick reminder that I do a live stream every day at 2 p.m. Eastern, and you can visit ojambo.com for more details. You're free to post any requests in the live chat about programming or lifestyle topics, and as you can see, the link right to the live stream is right in the article. There's a link right there. If you don't want to see that, you can simply watch the video, and the video is also embedded in the article. And also be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content, and also it inspires me to make tutorials for you just like this one. Alright, so getting started with the Gitea Actions for Laravel for the continuous integration or continuous deployment. That's a CD/CD using Podman and MariaDB. So very recently I did GT or Gitea or Gitea for a separate tutorial. So that one we used Python. So in this one I'm going to use PHP, and I decided, since I also recently did a full CRUD application using Laravel, I might as well do the same thing, show you how it works in GT as well. Alright, because some of you are PHP developers. Alright, so I'm not going to spend too much time in setting up GT, because I said we already set up. As you can see, the folder here, we have the Gitea, what else is here? See the Python project we already had. So we have the Podman compose, and we set up the keys. So I'm going to show you, I'm just going to briefly go through it, because there's a dedicated video just for that, but I will I'll just go through this very quickly. And also there's actually an upcoming tutorial of another Git server, which is actually a fork of Gitea. So it's not like I'm skipping things. I said there's a dedicated video for that, and there's going to be an upcoming video which will basically be a repeat of the same things again. So I said this one is simply I want this story not to take as long, but if you do guys have questions in the live chat, I'll be happy to answer them. Alright, so GT or Gitea, which see, this is T here, so GT is a lightweight self-hosted Git service that's fully open source. It's similar to GitHub, but designed to be simple and easy to run on your own server. Gitea Actions is a built-in automation feature that lets you run workflows like tests and deployments triggered by Git events. So you could say, hey, why don't you just use Git hooks? Well, Git hooks are limited because they are basically just scripts. It could be bash script. You could use any scripting language you want, like Python or PHP. However, they are limited, and the limitations could actually even be more depending on the permissions for that particular Git user you're using. So meaning that you won't be able to run some root things, which obviously things such as, for example, Docker can do, or Podman if you're running it as in root. But the point I'm making is that the Gitea Actions, it has APIs which can hook into those more, especially if you're running Docker, because Docker, unlike Podman, is not rootless. So that's not a bad thing for Podman. I'm saying there are workarounds, and I'll show you those workarounds in today's tutorial. And I'll show you those perfect workarounds for that. So the server includes the following components. You obviously your Laravel application. So I'm going to take some of the code from the Laravel tutorial. I'm not going to take everything. I said there's a dedicated tutorial for that. I'm just going to take some of them which are relevant for this tutorial. Shell script to start the containers. That's the key right there. So that's a workaround. You can have a shell script instead of having some type of dedicated pipeline, installing a whole bunch of extensions. You can just use a script, and that could start containers on their own. you can still run your Laravel tests, and you can start and stop containers. For example, if I'm using Podman compose, it simply be Podman compose down. That will stop the particular container you want to, and obviously start is simply Podman compose start or Podman up. That's it. So a shell script is pretty easy. And the Gitea action is the workflow that triggers the shell script on every single push. So that's a workaround, nice and simple. Okay, so this is our Laravel applications. So usually you put your code in the app folder here. You might have a specific route that goes in the routes here, and then the .ci, that will be where we put our, see, run test, that's our shell script, and that will be triggered by Gitea, the actions. And then as usual for the Gitea, we have our workflows, we have the ci.yaml file, and then our Podman YAML, Addison if you do something there, and the compose.json. That's it. That's all we need. So they say two additions to your application are the .ci folder and the .gitea folder, and obviously the Podman compose to run our Gitea instance. So here's an example here of the Podman the Podman the Podman one YAML file. So you can see here, this is the script that will be run by sorry, I made a mistake there. So the Podman composes, this is the one that the script, this run-script.sh is going to run. So as you can see here, it's going to use PHP 8.4 FPM. It's going to run a Laravel file. You can see the port number. You map them 9000. I'm not using 9000 on the host system. And you can see it's a command, compose install, and artisan. That's obviously Laravel. And then the image it's going to use is MariaDB. Then you can see here we have the MariaDB environment. Obviously, it's a fork of MySQL, so the same things in MySQL will run. So if you don't want to use MariaDB, you can use MySQL. That's not a problem. And after that, you can spin up the PHP FPM container, and that's how the script. See, I was saying here. You see right here. This is what will be inside our test script. You see compose. You see down, meaning that if it does exist, it will stop running it. Then it will start running build one. And then to wait 20 seconds because MariaDB has to do some things on the first try, and then we can execute our application. And if the test is perfectly fine, we can then stop. We can stop the container. You see that down here, and we can exit. And that's it. So that's how it will run. And this is our workflow. You guys have seen this before. I said in the previous Gitea Actions tutorial I did. You see here, it runs on Ubuntu latest. The actions, checkout, you see to actually run the script, it's in .ci folder. That's our workflow. And so automatically registering and running the Gitea Actions runner, it will. You can also, as a workaround, you can also install this. Install this runner. If you want to run it, for example, on startup on your host system as well, you can run that as well. But I said this is just a tutorial. You don't need that. You can just rely on the scripts. That's what we're going to do today. All right, and here's some screenshots. So I'm not going to go through the screenshots right now because we're going to do the same thing here. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get started on our Gitea. I'm going to get it up and running. So it's very simple. I'm already inside the folder here. So all you do is you type Podman hyphen compose space up space hyphen D. The hyphen D is for detach. So boom, it's running. So Gitea is running. So Gitea always runs on port 3000. So I'm gonna start this on the what do you call it? Chromium browser. So I'm gonna open the Chromium browser, and I'm gonna go to local. Actually, I don't want to go to local. So I'll go 127. Yeah, there we go, 3000. And you see it's Gitea here, and I'm gonna sign in. I think I changed a few things here. I hope I remember the password and stuff. I can't remember. Hopefully it's this one here. Oh yeah, I think it's a Jumbo Shop. Oh, I can't remember my password. Let me see if I wrote down the password somewhere. Oops, looks like I don't remember my password. Let me try something here. I can't remember what my password was. Okay, I don't remember my password. So that's perfectly fine. I'm going to, I will need to reset the password, and I'm gonna show you guys how to reset the password right on the command line. So let's do that. This is also if you install, if you do install, what do you call it? If you forget, if you forget your, if you forget to set up the admin on the command line. Sorry, not on the command line, when you first install it. So I'm gonna create another one, and I'll just reset that one. I think it is a Jumbo Shop if I remember correctly. So let's go and maybe Jumbo Shop is lowercase. That could probably be it as well. Let me try the lowercase one. Did I spell Jumbo Shop wrong? Okay, let me make sure I didn't spell Jumbo Shop wrong. Okay, it doesn't matter. I will reset it. So okay, we'll go back to the command line, make sure it's working. Okay, so it is up and running. So I don't remember my password. Now, we can reset the password. It's very, very easy to do. So, oh, wait a minute. I think I do know the password. Just remember the password. I think this is lowercase. That is lowercase. And I believe this should be my password. Let's spell that right. Ah, there we go. I do remember my password. Sorry about that. Haha, I remember my password. All right. As you can see, I did a whole bunch of stuff here. So we also created this Laravel project. So I'm going to delete this project because I'm going to show you how to get it up and running. So I can just click this X, and that should get rid of it. So let me let's see all the repositories we have here. Oh, it looks like there's a whole bunch of them. So there's this one here. As you can see, it does have, okay, this one doesn't have any actions, but that's fine. I'm just going to delete. Why can't I delete this? Okay, how do I delete this? This is one of the things I dislike about the fork one is actually much better. This one is hard to see when things are so, it doesn't show me how I can delete this. In settings. Oh, this one is set to private. Okay, well that doesn't matter. Yeah, it's really hard to. Is it settings? Maybe it's under settings. Let's go to settings. Okay, it's under settings. I can. Is there where I can delete it? Okay, delete this repository. Okay, that's fine. Okay, my Laravel project. Okay, I want to delete that repo. So it's deleted. Looks like there's a Python, PyTest, and Python. Okay, perfect. Now what I want to do is I want to create a new one. I'm going to create the new repository. There's multiple ways of doing this, and I'll show you. Actually, this is a pretty good tutorial for you guys to learn. I'm going to show you a different way of doing this. So I'm going to create this repository. It's going to be my Laravel project, and we go down here. Git ignore. I'm going to base it on. I think Laravel is in here. Yeah, Laravel. Okay, and the license, what license should I use? What is the one I did? Oh, I did an Apache license. I think I should do an MIT license this time, which I also did. Yeah, MIT. I'll choose M. I think I did an MIT. Okay, I'll just use MIT. Doesn't matter. README. Okay, so I'm going to create this repository. And this repository, you see, this repository, Git repository has been created. And if we look at the URL, it's a public repository. So obviously there's the initial commit and to a code, under code here, and I can see, you see it's of Jumbo Shop, and it's on port 22. And remember, I'll show you the Podman compose, all that when we go. So you can copy this. I'm not going to do that because I already have it, but basically you can copy that. Now the only thing you need to change is obviously it's I'm not using the same port number on my system, because in my system I do it for different things, but I'll show you how to get over. And you see here it has code for VS Code, IntelliJ IDEA, and you can download the zip, tar zip, or the bundle. Alright, and as you can see here, there's no actions, and there's no pull request, there's no issues or anything, so that's perfectly fine. And you can see there's only it only has 3 files. There's the git ignore, the license, and the readme.md file. That's it. Alright, and you see the license here, it's MIT, so that's perfectly fine. We'll come back to this later, so I'm gonna close that. I'm back here. So I'm in this folder here. See, there's nothing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let me clear this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a starter for the our Laravel project. So I'll say composer space create hyphen project Laravel / Laravel. And I'm going to call it my Laravel project. I can call it anything else I want, but I'll just use the same name. And you see it has created my Laravel project. So I'm going to go inside here just to show you a few things when this finishes. So it's done. So it has this, by default it's going to use the SQLite database, but I'm going to change it to MariaDB. So as I said before, I'm not going to do every single thing for for the other stuff, but I'm just gonna do one thing. But I said you can watch the dedicated Laravel tutorials. I have 2 of them. One was where I just selected from an existing MariaDB database, and the one I did very recently was the one, it's a full CRUD application, meaning that you can insert, you can delete, you can obviously select the data as well. So an update, you can also update. So I'm just going to mimic that. So when you go in here, we're looking for the environmental file. So I'm going to Control H so I can see the hidden files. This is the one I'm interested in here. So I'm going to open up the text editor, and then the text editor should be right here. Perfect. This is what I want. And you see when we go through this, we scroll. I guess it's right here. See, it's SQLite. So we're going to change this from SQLite to MySQL. So even though I'm using MariaDB, as I said, MariaDB is a fork of MySQL, so everything works. The host is the same. The port, the default. I'm gonna. I haven't started the MariaDB on the host system. So for now, I'm going to leave the default port. But if I was working on my host system, I'll probably change this as well, just so that they don't interfere with each other. What else is here? I'll change all this just to show you in a second. So if you remember, I'm going to leave the, if we scroll up here, I'm going to keep the same right here. So it's Laravel user. So I'm going to change this to Laravel user. And that's where I change it to secret, just to keep everything the same. Okay, then I'm going to save this. Now, obviously, you should go into your routes if you need to change the routes. For example, remember the application we have been working on is the the route and the controller, the view was called people. So do the same thing. Do the same thing as well, just to keep everything the same. So so that's going to mimic a full working Laravel application that connects to the MariaDB or MySQL database. So with that done, I don't need this anymore, but I want to show you. So I'm going to create the other things. But before I do that, let me show you this Podman compose if you want to follow along. What's going on here? Oh, jeez. No, that's not one. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So this is for Gitea version 3. It's the same as the previous tutorial. You see the services, Gitea image. I'm giving Gitea / colon latest. The container name Gitea, ports 3000 because I'm not using port 3000 on my host system. So this is the host system, and then this is the container. So 3000, and I'll explain to you why I'm using port 2222 to map it to port 22 on the container. So port 22 is the default SSH port number, and on my host system, in order to connect to the container, I'm using 2222. And there's two reasons I'm doing this. Number one is on my local host system, I do use obviously the default, which is 22. So I don't want to mark up that one. I don't want to have a conflict. That's reason number one. Reason number two is very, very important, because I'm using a rootless, Podman is rootless. So if I would choose port 22 or basically any port below 1000, those are reserved for the root user. So meaning that I would need to elevate the permissions. I don't want to do that, so I'm perfectly fine just adding this port 222 to my for my host, because then I'll know that is the one I'll use to connect to the container. I'm perfectly fine with that. So we have a data here. It's called .gitea, and it's this one here. This is where all the data is stored, and you can see the environment 1000. So that's a group, and the user as well. It's signed 1000. So I said anything below 1000 is reserved for root user access. It's privileged. So 1000 and above is perfectly fine. So this port number here could have been 1001, for example, but 222 is easy to remember because the default is 22, and restart always. That's all we need for the to start Gitea. There's one more thing as well. You guys saw this here. I created this. You see, it's local and pub, and I showed you how to do that in the previous tutorial, how to create the keys. In an upcoming tutorial, again, I'll create keys for a different application, but it's the exact same process. You can watch the old what do you call it, the dedicated tutorial for that. Basically, just make keys. It's a key pair. One, this is the private key, this is the public key, and the public key is the one that goes into Gitea. I'll show you that when we go back into Gitea. I won't forget. So the other thing we need to do is we need to open up our config file. So I think it's one of this one here, right? Config. So this is, you see, it's in your home folder .ssh/config. So we open up here, and again I'm going to zoom in. So that gives it away. So there we go. So Gitea.local, you see the host name is 127.0.0.0. That's obviously localhost. You see the port number is 2222. The user is Git, and the identifier file is in this folder /git. That's the folder we're in right now. You see local. Local is, as I said before, the private key. So this is how I'll be able to connect to the container. Now, let's so obviously you guys can see this. That's the giveaway for the next application I said in this series of the Git servers. It's a fork of Gitea. I said we'll talk about that when it comes up. So we are okay. So with that said, let's go back to our Laravel project here, because we need to do we need to create our we need to create our oh my god, I can't speak. Oh my goodness, I can't speak today. We need to create our workflow and the CI folder. So I'm gonna quickly do that in the command line. Let me get to the command line. Here we are. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do it on the command line here. Make clear -p and then .ci .here / workflows. So it should be here. Why does it not? Did I put it in the wrong place? Oh shoot! I made them in the wrong place. So let me remove them. Oh, I should just do that. I put them in the wrong place. I forgot to cd inside the folder. Okay, so first I need to cd into my Laravel. There we go. Yeah, so we're down here. I see .ci and .gitea. So those are the folders. Now what I need to do is I need to create some, I believe it's some YAML files. Yes. Oh no, YAML. This is run. What is it? Run tests.sh, and the other one is here. It's /ci.yaml. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up in the GNOME text editor. Okay, so here we go. You see it opened up this run tests. Okay, I don't need to zoom in that much. So what I'm going to do is this is our run test. I just need to copy this code in here. Copy, paste it in here. Let me zoom out so you guys can see it. There we go. See, it's just bin bash set e. I already talked about this. Yeah, so so that's just it there. So this will run Podman compose automatically based on when I do a push and to run the test. Basically, to obviously I could make it even more simple, but I said if I was going to do that, I could just simply use scripts like a git receive hook. Okay, and then our in the ci.yaml file, and so just copy this code here. Oops, it has a name. Copy that, paste it here. I'll zoom in a little bit so you guys, oops, copied the wrong thing. Copy, paste, there we go. So the name Laravel Podman CI, obviously CI stands for continuous integration. Remember, it's not this one is not deployment, it's an integration, meaning you run every single time. On, push, branches, main, obviously. Jobs, test, runs on Ubuntu latest. Steps, name, checkout code, actions, uses action / checkout, action version 3. Name is make test script executable, so it's a change mode +x vi run test sh, and run Laravel test using Podman. It will run it. That's it. So let me hit back the command line for a second. I need to make sure one of these files is executable. So change mode +x, mean +x. The x stands for executable, so it is now executable. I could have done it here in the command line as well, just to prove to you. If you right click on this, go to properties, you see it's executable as a program now. So that's all that does. So now with that said, I need to pull the changes from the so remember this folder right now, my Laravel project, it doesn't have, you see there's not that git anywhere here. So even though it has it already came with its own git ignore, however I'm going to override that one, it's no problem. So I need to do a git pull. So first thing I need to do is git int, and I'm going to make it quiet so you don't see all that stuff it usually puts there. So you see now it has a .git folder. So what I need to do is I need to do a git add. So git remote add, remote add. So I'm going to paste that in here. Now before I do this, I want to show you guys something. You see this config file? I'm going to open up with the text editor, and I'll show it to you what it looks like right now. This is what it looks like. And you see there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only 5 lines. Zoom in a little bit. So there's only 5 lines. Now if I go back to the command line, you see I'm adding the origin. This is the one that was copied from the, remember when I clicked on code inside Gitea? That's where I got it from. The only difference I made is the port number instead of 22, I changed it to 2222. When you change it to 222, you need to obviously SSH change this as well. And then we see I'm using git at gitea.local. That was from the SSH config file. So I press enter, and you see it's been added. Now if we go back, you see this has been changed. Remember it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to discard and reload, and you're going to see the changes. Discard, and there we go. You see it changed everything here. See it added the remote, and that's and then project.git, that's very fine, and then has the fetch as well. So what I can do now is go back to the command line here. Obviously if I was running a GUI, not a GUI, an IDE or a text editor, program text editor that's able to handle this, you could do that as well, but hey, that's perfectly fine. Git, then I'm going to do a fetch. I'm going to fetch origin. So it's asking me if I want to continue connecting. So I'm going to obviously put yes, I want to continue. And you see it has now copied the stuff from, you see it unpacked the stuff from the container, the repository from the container. And I'll prove it to you in a second so you can see here. Remember, what did we have in the container? We had our own git ignore. There was some, what else did we have? We had some readme, readme, and we had the license as well, I believe. I can't see where the license is. No, there's a license file. I can't see it here. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, so it got this from that as well. And just to prove to you, if I put git status, not git status, I meant git log, sorry. Git log. Because I haven't made any commits yet, but there's at least one commit, and you see these are the files which have not been added. These are the new files. So I'm going to push all these files. So let's do that. So git add. I want to add everything, and then what else can we do here? So I'm going to git commit -m. I'm going to say commit with CI. Okay, you see it's done it, but I want to actually push, so I'll just put git push new. Actually, I'll just do a git push. I think that that should be. I think just a git push should be enough. Yeah, I think if I just put git push, it should push to the. Okay, I need to get git push. Origin and name. Oh, what is my? Okay. I think I need to do a git checkout. So I'll do a git checkout. I say git checkout -b name. Okay. Now, what is the git status? Okay, I should be able to do a git push this time. Git push -u origin name. did you get rid of all my changes? I have the README here. Oh yeah, shoot. I think I need to do a git merge. Just give me a second. I could have pushed that and then, can I do a git merge master? It's already git merge. Yeah, see, oh yeah, see, this is the problem. It's one thing I dislike about this is because of my old system, sometimes it does detect the main properly, other times it defaults to master. So this is always a pain in the butt for me. So okay, at least I'm on the correct one. I'm on main. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cheat a little bit because, well, let's see, I have everything here. Oh yeah, I do have everything. Why can't I do a git push? I don't know why I can't do a git push. It said it's already up to date. Okay. Oh yeah, I can do a. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna force it. Git push -f. What is it? Origin main. There we go. I forced it. All right, so you can do a force. That's what I wanted. So it's gonna override everything. So it's a forced update. That's what I wanted. Okay, so I'll explain why I had that problem. The reason I said is like I've been using Git for a very long time, and in the past, it was always master was always the main branch. That was the default. So the problem is because of some wokeness, they decided to try to push people to use main instead of master. So that obviously causes problems. As you can see now, is that by default, even though you guys saw me, I just created this right now. In Gitea it was main, which is perfectly fine, but because I've been using Git for a long time, that is actually one thing I will give them a little bit of credit. They didn't force it down our throats that you have to stop the way you currently work. So obviously I can change the one there to master, but that's perfectly fine. I'm okay with this. All right, so I forced it, a little bit inconvenience. So if we go here now, see, this is the default, it's still saying this, but if I actually click on the, if I go to the dashboard, you see it's going to tell me that, you see I pushed something a minute ago. So there's a little bit of glare because the sun finally came out a minute ago. So if I actually click on the project, now you can see everything is there. You see my obviously it's a Laravel project. I see all this stuff wasn't there before, right? Okay, so obviously, yeah, it found all this stuff, and then what else did it do here? You see, there's no issues, there's no pull request. I could have merged here as well, but I didn't want to do that. I could have done a pull request. I find it just easier to do it on the command line, honestly. And you see, detected the languages here: Blade, PHP, Shell, CSS, and JavaScript. The Blade is, I think, the one where HTML and all that stuff would be. Okay, and then and you can see the README obviously got bigger. What else is here? And you see our actions. We have one action. So we go here. You see it ran our action. So obviously the test did pass. It can whip up the. So if you notice, I made one mistake. I did not actually create the podman.compose YAML file. Right? So I forgot to do that, but that isn't a problem. I think I do have a copy here. Yeah. See, this is what I forgot to do. So I forgot to create a Podman compose YAML file, but you guys can easily do that. Just copy this code here and dump it here. I didn't feel like doing that, but you can do that. So one good thing is I also wanted to show you guys that if you forget something, mine was deliberate, but if you do forget something, your code will still go to your repository. However, for example, if I click on this, you can see the test, it's still waiting, right? That's the reason I said, because obviously it cannot find the Podman YAML file. It's still waiting for the result. Now I should really put in there, but I said I don't feel like it, but you can if you want. The reason is for the application I'm using right now, I have no need for PHP 8.4 because obviously on my I'm using Fedora 42. I already have PHP 8.4, so I don't feel like running it in a container for now. But as I said, you can run that and you'll be able to run the actions here. Alright, so with that said, yeah, and obviously there's other things here. You can you can also create a new release. You can create a page on the wiki, and activity. You can see it shows up here if there was any issues to open and close there. So that's basically the tutorial. I hope this guys help. If you guys want me to do more continuous integration or continuous deployment, let me know. I'll be more than happy to do that. Alright, so let's go back to this, finish this up. As you can see, these are just screenshots. You guys already saw this. Everything here, there's nothing, this is literally what we did today. And you guys saw everything here. And it's the same thing. There's nothing special. And this is the live stream. So if I play it, shots, you guys already saw this. Everything here. As you see, it's just a little, I don't know how there's like half a second behind or something. Alright, so if you want to learn more and get support, I am Eduardo Jambo, a software developer passionate about teaching others how to build and automate web applications. You can check out my program books on Amazon. You can search for Eduardo Jambo. The links are in the description. And I also have online programming courses at ojamboshop.com. The links are also in the description. Now, if you're interested in personalized guidance, reach out to me for one-on-one programming tutorials at ojambo.com/contact. And if you need help installing Laravel, setting up Git, or migrating your repositories, you can contact me at ojamboservices.com/contact and let us get your project moving. So let's go to the conclusion. If you're using Gitea or Gitea Actions with Podman and MariaDB, is a powerful open source way to manage your continuous integration and deployment for your Laravel project. It's flexible, secure, and designed to fit well into a Fedora or Podman based environment. If you're ready to take your Laravel app automation to the next level, this setup is a fantastic starting point. If you want help generating full configuration files or scripts, just let me know. Alright, with that said, excuse me, quick reminder that I do live streams every day at 2 p.m. Eastern. You're free to join the live chat and obviously post requests about programming or lifestyle topics. Just visit ojambo.com for this and upcoming tutorials. Also be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. I'd like to thank everybody who subscribed so far this month. Keep it up. It inspires me to make tutorials just like this one just for you. And with that said, I also have a recommended resource in some of my, I guess, people in the live chat. They wanted to know how I'm getting along here in the rural area, and obviously I'm fine. So one of the things I use the internet is I use the Starlink, Spaces Starlink. I obviously have a residential plan, and it's working very well. I'm actually doing this live stream of Starlink, and not only that, I also use it for my phone because the signal is very bad here. So what I do is I use Wi-Fi calling. So the Wi-Fi calling goes right to, I'm able to text and obviously receive and send calls as if I was just in a regular town or city without any problems. So it works fantastic. And so if you're thinking of getting Starlink and you want to sign up, I would recommend using this link. This is a referral link, or what do they also call it? What's another name? A referral affiliate link. So what that means is that if you use this link, I get a 1 month free. So if any of you are thinking of getting started, and if you actually do, I think they also give a discount. I don't remember what discount they. You also get a discount. I don't quote me. I think it's probably up to 50% off or something. So yeah, so it's a good idea to use my referral link. All right. With that said, I'm checking the live chat. I don't see any chat requests, so I'm going to end this tutorial now, and I'll see you guys in the next one tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. With that said, have a great day. Bye now.